Because I realized in that situation how tough I was and how like, yo, MJ, you're tough. I'm a very quick person. I'm very, very, very fast moving. I can do anything in 2 seconds. I always knew I had this sense of independence that I'm living right now. And I also am very stealthy. I'm just a fast walker because I'm so used to walking. I feel like I've always been very smart. Very, very smart. Where I would describe my hair as beautiful now. The thing is, I have an amazing memory. Like, I remember everything that's basically ever happened to me. I always strive to be different than everybody else. That's something I usually strive to be. So if I see everybody doing this, going this way, I want to go that way. I feel like I'm not like most people, because people ask me a lot of questions that are like, would apply to like the normal human being, but I'm not very normal at all. Like, a lot of people also ask me like, how did you get the courage to up and move to China by yourself? Like, it didn't take any courage. I am that type of person.
Hello and welcome to another day in paradise, and welcome to another edition of the Unapologetic Negropian. In today's video, it is pretty much every young girl's dream to travel around the world and go to the places they have only seen on the internet or in magazines if they still read them. Getting paid for looking beautiful in photographs. I mean, that is the stuff of dreams for many a teenager. For some girls, it is not enough just to dream about it. For some girls, they need to live it. Maryjane Byarm is one of those girls turned woman who went out to live her dream of traveling the world and getting paid for it. She came onto the YouTube scene a little over 5 years ago, just as a young 19-year-old girl who was trying to make her way in the modeling industry. She was thin, beautiful, and she seemed to play the part very well. As an African-American girl, she went to China of all places to live and to work as a model. China is not the sort of place that you would associate an African-American model, but she went there and she flourished. She thrived in the industry and she did extremely well. China is not the place that you would associate an African-American model, so it caught the eye of many people around the diaspora, especially young African-American women. Maryjane was everyone's best friend, the quiet one in the back of the classroom, to open up a little bit when it came to social media. She would talk about her past. She'd be very candid about who she was as a person. You could see the way she looked when she was a little younger. When she was 15 years old, she was overweight and perhaps a little shy, and the boys, of course, didn't really take notice of her. And then she started to lose weight, and she blossomed, to say the least. I first stumbled across Maryjane's YouTube channel some 2 years ago. To understand why she has over 200,000 subscribers. She always makes these videos that are kind of rough around the edges. She was telling people that, hey, I'm on the street, you know, I can't afford a hotel. She was being very honest about her traveling, and she garnered a lot of fans because of her honesty, because of her decency, because she was a Christian, a self-proclaimed Christian and a virgin. It's all these different attributes which made her rise to the top when it came to YouTube. She was travel vlogging 5-6 years ago when she was a teenager as an African-American woman all around the world, from China to Japan to Dubai. She was there, she was traveling on the camelback in the middle of the desert. She was even skydiving, and she is now a licensed skydiver. She is intrepid, she has no fear, she's adventurous. She came across to everybody as being the type of person that they would want to be. So her fan base is extremely strong. A lot of people wanted to be with her. If you look at her pictures, she's clearly a beautiful woman, right? She's a beautiful woman and she gets a lot of attention on social media. Apparently even Meek Mill asked her out at some point or something like that. If you look at the people who follow her, the people that really care, the vast majority of her followers are female. I'm going to tell you why I believe that most of her followers are female. And she speaks about the things that matter to women. Not a lot of men were interested in her YouTube videos. And then if you look at her Instagram as well, once again, mostly women following her, mostly women commenting on her look. If you look at her photographs, look at her pictures, look at the way she smiles, she doesn't give a lot away. You don't really know how she's feeling in her photographs. Her face is not revealing much emotion. She doesn't express it. You don't know when she's really genuinely happy. You don't know if she's genuinely sad. She looks actually a little depressed as well. So when she posts these photographs, a lot of women who are attracted to people who are mysterious. Women have a different emotional makeup than men. So men just want it, okay, how are you? Bam, bam, bam. We just want it in front of our faces. That's the way we are. But women are different. Women like mystery. They like to solve things, solve puzzles. They want to fix that broken person, put that person together and formulate that person in their mind. A lot of women were so allured by this woman, so allured by Maryjane, that they would do anything to meet her or to go on trips with her. That would be the stuff of dreams. And so, of course, Maryjane Byarm saw this as an opportunity to make money. Why not? Let's give people the opportunity to travel with her, to meet her, to make these same experiences in some of the most exotic places on the planet, from Bali to Dubai to Egypt. Yeah, why not? We'll also be able to learn firsthand from a person on how to live the life of a travel vlogger, an African-American travel vlogger, a beautiful African-American travel vlogger. And thus, this is where all the trouble starts. You see, Maryjane Byarm has been accused of being a thief, a scammer, a con artist. Many women who jumped at the chance to go and meet Maryjane and to travel with her paid up deposits. Sometimes they paid the full amount for these trips with her, and things went wrong. Never saw a penny of that money. But this broke the hearts of many women. This really shook them to the core. And it also gave an opportunity for those people who were her biggest critics. Of course, this is YouTube. There are a lot of people who hate her for whatever reason. There are a lot of people who see through the facade that she brings to YouTube. And of course, like I've said before in the past, all these YouTubers have a facade, okay? The person that you see in front of you is not the real person. That is a mask they are wearing, alter ego, so to speak, so they can sell themselves to you. This is strange because Maryjane Byarm doesn't seem like the kind of person that was putting on a front. Maryjane Byarm wasn't putting on a front in the beginning. You see, in the beginning, she was just being herself. She was posting videos and wanting to show people the experiences that she was having when she was getting 10,000, 14,000, 15,000 views per video. But as the money started coming in, she realized that she had to change herself, that she had to become somebody else. This persona that she brought on, this alter ego that she became the person that ultimately ended up stealing the money of many a woman and breaking the hearts of many people who trusted her. So where did this start? Who were the people who were making these accusations? How much money has she been accused of taking? We are going to go into this right now. But first, I'm going to ask you to please like, subscribe, share, click the bell notification, and please consider supporting the channel on our Patreon. Link in the description. About 2 years ago, people started voicing their concerns over Maryjane Byarm and how truthful she was as a person. And like I just said again, it is not the real person you are seeing. So she had transformed into this woman, this woman with a black man's fantasy body. Really, I mean, she looks stunning. She's definitely the kind of person that would warrant a second look in the street. But she wasn't always that way. When she started out, she was petite, she was quite thin, she just looked like your average woman. And of course, things changed. People started making accusations that she was using skin lighteners. People were making accusations that she was wearing contact lenses. People were making accusations that she was wearing wigs. She came out to saying that her hair was natural, and then a little later on she sort of put her hand up and said, well, actually I'm wearing wigs. So a lot of these lies were being uncovered by people, from women who were just hating on her in the first place, right? They were hating on her in the first place, and she gave them the ammo by saying, here, well, I am sort of, you know, not the person who you think I am. I looked her up on Lipstick Alley, and ladies, wow, you women can be so vicious. It's crazy. I mean, I was reading Lipstick Alley and I was like, wow. Wow. It's like the women who were commenting on Lipstick Alley were taking her apart bit by bit by bit. You're going to get a few women who are just going to hate on her. You're going to get a few women who are going to genuinely dislike her as a person and just want to comment on her. You're going to get some women, though, who are going to feel betrayed because she isn't the person that she first started off being. She had turned into something else. She was a shapeshifter, so to speak. She turned into this woman who we would now say was an Instagram model. So she had that body, she had that look, and she started gaining the attention of more and more men. However, the amount of people that were watching her YouTube channel started to wane, and she could see this, and she reacted in a way like everybody else would. She started to turn on a performance. So Maryjane Byarm, you may not know this, but she had constantly spoken about her Christian faith and about herself being a virgin. Just as her views were pretty much on the lower side of the spectrum, which would, for me, it would be a dream to have 150,000 views on a video for her. Clearly, it was not enough. A person that was normally getting 500,000 views on her channel. Seemingly ordinary videos, actually. That was not, 150,000 just was not enough. So she posted this video, which caught the attention of her fans.
Maybe it's gonna be a bit of a surprise for you guys. You know, the only thing good about me is the fact that Jesus loves me and he forgave and he forgives. I'm gonna tell you guys this story. It's probably gonna be 2 parts because it's very long. I got completely obsessed and infatuated with this boy when I was in high school, and I'm looking on my phone and I have a period tracker app that tells me when I'm gonna get my period. And I was looking at the app and I'm like, oh wait, my period was due last week. Like, I had no pregnancy symptoms, like no pregnancy symptoms at all. Yeah, I went straight to the most expensive pregnancy test. I didn't want to play. I didn't want to get the cheap ones. I take the test. I go straight to the bathroom in Walmart. So I pee in the cup, right? And then I put the pregnancy test in the pee. I literally prayed to God, please let me have cancer instead of being pregnant. I literally asked him to give me cancer instead of being pregnant. I was like, I know I made a mistake. Please punish me by giving me cancer instead of. So it said pregnant. I was pregnant. Christian family. I was born and raised Christian. My mom's very Christian and very saved, but she never made us feel like we had to be afraid to tell anything. So anyways, I told her, I was like, I'm pregnant. I never thought I'd be a grandmother this soon, but I'm very excited. And I'm like looking at her like, please don't go there. I'm like, I'm gonna have an abortion.
Of course, as a person who has been proclaiming herself as being a God-fearing Christian, a virgin, making a video about how you became pregnant and how you had to have an abortion raises clearly a lot of questions about how much of a virgin you are. How much of a virgin you are. You can't be a little bit a virgin, can you? You either are a virgin or you're not, and clearly she isn't. A lot of the young women that were following her felt really betrayed by this because they weren't just enamored by her personality. A lot of them really took a liking to her in that sort of a sense, you know, because she never really came across as being anti-man, but you could tell that she was very, very pro-woman. When this started coming out, when she started posting pictures of herself going out on dates with a European man, a lot of these African-American women, more specifically, started to look from the side of their eye with her. They started to realize something was afoot. Then there were accusations of her becoming more and more arrogant. I think this is just a lot of disgruntled people, fans, who had been with her for years and once again didn't realize that she was changing as a person, and this kind of stardom can do this to some people, especially to some weak-minded people. Maryjane is the type of person that never got attention 7 years ago because she was overweight. She was the kind of girl, if you looked at her, she was the kind of girl that never got that type of attention. And then all of a sudden, she has music stars, pop stars, calling her up, DMing her, okay? And some people know how to deal with that attention, with that unwarranted attention or unwanted attention. And some people don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to take it gracefully, you know? And she wasn't taking that side gracefully, and it came out and it spilled out onto her fans. Her fans were really the ones that caught the sharp end of the stick when it came to her reacting quite angrily, quite bitterly towards some of her longtime fans. These are people who have paid for her trips. They paid for her trips because if they weren't watching, she wouldn't have the money to fly all over the world. She said that her parents paid for it, her family supported her. I'm sure they did in the beginning. And then came the allegations that she was stealing people's money. The first allegation came by the way of a lady named Jean-Baptiste, a Haitian American lady who had paid $2,000 for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Egypt. Take a listen to this.
Once you got my money in your possession, you was ghost Casper. Why? It's like I keep exercising patience, but my dad don't seem to be losing weight. A couple days before my birthday or so, I saw a post on Maryjane Byarm's story that she's hosting a trip, one to Egypt and one to Dubai. I responded back to her, and right after that, I proceeded to pay for Egypt, which was $2,000. I'm so confused, like, blame myself in some way. Like, friends and family, every other day I have to keep hearing, did you get your money back? Did you get your money back? I didn't want it to so badly. I didn't want it to be true.
Now, there are many mistakes that Jean-Baptiste made, some quite obvious ones, if I need to be honest with you. Like trusting an influencer in the first place, sending your money in an uninsured way. You know what? You don't send $2,000 uninsured to anyone, okay? And when you're sending it using these quick payment apps like Cash App and PayPal, your money's not insured. Once it goes into their account, that's it. It's gone. And there's no getting it back because it wasn't insured by any third party. Now you can't really blame her. In a way, she was enamored by her, okay? She was really, really taken by her. Maryjane Byarm, she's not like the rest of those scamming YouTubers, the ones that come across and try and protract something to people. They're really working hard to show themselves as being the types of people that can be trusted. Maryjane Byarm just looks like a trustworthy person. In fact, she looks like my 18-year-old daughter. I can't really get over how much she looks like her. It's kind of weird. So yeah, she just looks like somebody that you could trust just straight away, no problem. And yeah, sometimes, what can I say? It can be the quiet ones who can end up stabbing you in the back. Another lady by the name of Ashley Morera also got scammed.
So obviously, this video is about Maryjane Byarm and my experience with her. I said to her at the end of January, hey, are you gonna pay me my $2,500? She said, sure. I'm going to make 5 payments through Cash App. Every day I'm going to send you $500 until I reach the 5th payment. All right, she paid me 4 times. Made 4 payments of $500, which is $2,000, right? It didn't happen in 4 days, like she said. It took weeks of begging to get to that point. Then she only had $500 left. She never paid it back, you guys. And I honestly don't think he ever intended to pay me back.
Actually sent her $2,500 for a trip to Dubai. And when Ashley couldn't make it, she asked for her money back. Maryjane Byarm said, okay, that's not a problem, and started sending her money back. But it wasn't all in one go. It was piece after piece after piece. She sent her the money back in $500 increments. And when that last payment was meant to be made, she then cut it off. So this is actually quite telling. It tells me that I think this Maryjane Byarm has cut off a bit more than she can chew. Many of these influencers put on this front, and I keep telling people this, it is a front, and it's a necessary front because they are trying to sell themselves to you. They need your views, and sometimes they need even more. They need you to pay for their travel packages. This is the norm on YouTube. So because it's a front, she may look like she's in a 5-star hotel in Dubai and that she's staying there and she's enjoying her time, but maybe she's staying in a hostel in downtown Dubai and she's traveled there, gotten herself all dressed up and gone to a bar and had 1 drink in a bar somewhere and taken as many photographs as possible of her and the Dubai skyline. So then you think that she's living the life of a millionaire, but the reality is she's not. She's struggling. And you don't know what her financial situation is like. She could be really struggling. So yes, she could be asking you for $2,000 if she's desperate, if she's in a situation where she really needs that money. So she can continue her transformation, which is what I'm thinking she's doing. I think she's transforming into one of these sort of Instagram girls. You know, she really is looking for a slice of that male market. So more men are going to be taking a look at her Instagram photos, and she has that body that where men, you know, men are going to be pleased to see a photograph of her every single day and to see that she doesn't really care about them. That's one thing that men really like. Men like women who aren't trying too hard to grab attention. Women like that too. Women don't like men who are trying to grab attention. Just those ones who, hey, listen, by the way, I'm an adventurer, I'm a travel vlogger, I enjoy this, but I'm also beautiful too. Follow me. Why wouldn't you? So that is what I think she's transforming herself into. But in order for her to transform into this new alter ego, she's going to need surgery. She's going to need implants. She's going to need somebody who's going to edit her videos and her photographs just in the right way so she looks perfect. She needs all this, okay? And she is almost there. She's almost completed her transformation. But she needs money to do this, and it is not cheap to have these types of surgeries. Maryjane Byarm is not like the rest of the people that I've been speaking about. I don't think she went off traveling and thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to start scamming people straight away. I think that she was a person who was in a situation where she had to start scamming people, okay? In order for her to complete her transformation, she had to. So she started doing it, and that's the way it is, okay? People can change, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. And it's unfortunate that she has chosen this path, because now you can see that she is not the type of person that you can trust. You cannot go out and send thousands of dollars to any YouTuber. Any YouTuber. You can take a look right now into Google, look on YouTube as well. There are lots of videos out there of just women who just dislike her. They just hate her for whatever reason. So this could cloud a lot of the reality, the facts that underpins these accusations of her being a scammer. So you need to be careful when looking into people. You need to try and look past some of the stuff on there is just lies about her, or just people, oh, well, I don't like the way she talks. I mean, okay, so what, you know? I don't like the way she takes photographs, you know. Then don't follow her. Don't watch her videos. No one's forcing you to do these things. I was reading a lot of these comments on Lipstick Alley, and these women were like, oh, well, you know, I just happened to stumble on her video, and yeah, so I hate this. I'm like, yo, you don't just stumble on somebody's video, okay? If you genuinely dislike somebody, you're not gonna go and watch her videos, are you? So just leave her be. So if you're doing your research into anybody, you need to be able to pick through what is the truth and what isn't. A lot of these videos came with receipts, messages, facts, screenshots. So I knew straight away that these people were telling the truth about their experiences with Maryjane Byarm. So guys, what should you do? A lot of you guys that watch my videos, I mean, you're around my age, right? 40s, 50s, okay? So you're in a situation where you aren't gonna fall for these types of people. There are other people that you are gonna fall for, and that is people a lot like Maryjane Byarm, but a little older, who knows how to play your heartstrings, and they will take your money in that way. But people like Maryjane Byarm, you know, 20-somethings, these people aren't really going to fool you. Don't allow your emotions to cloud your judgment. A lot of these women, that's what they did. They allowed their emotions, that passion to actually overtake them and put them in a position where they were sending money to somebody just for the hell of sending the money to them. I wouldn't even be surprised if there were more people that got scammed by her. But because it's her, because it's Maryjane Byarm, they're not going to speak about it. They're going to keep it to themselves, okay? Because they don't want to fall out with Maryjane Byarm, okay? And that is sad. It is really sad. It's bad that we have people out there who will take advantage of your feelings. So, but we know this, you know, we know this as guys our age, we kind of know this. But remember, if you're 20-something, you know, there are a lot of people out there who are a little younger than us, so to speak, and they are not going to know this. And you know, people like Maryjane Byarm will take advantage of that, unfortunately.
Maryjane, if you're watching this video, please send me back my money. That's all I want. I don't want any wahala. I don't want any problem, no fuss, no police. Just send me back my money. I've learned my lesson, I promise.
So have any of you guys heard about Maryjane Byarm? Do you watch her videos? Do you follow her? Do you think that these accusations are unmerited? Do you think that she can be trusted? Have you ever bought any type of packages from her? It'd be really good to know whether you have. Please leave a comment in the comment section. It'd be really good to hear your experiences with her. So guys, that's all I have time for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'd like to give an extra special thank you to my Patreons, and I will see you in the next one. Until the next time, please think twice. Ta-ra a bit.